Am I live now? Yes, I think I am. Yeah. Hi everyone. This is Shrishti. I write about films and TV shows for News 18, and today we are here to do a small live session with Kritika Kamra, who is one of my favorite actors, not just for the kind of roles that she does on screen, but also, you know, for the way she speaks up about various issues on her social media. I really admire her for that. Not every actor you know has the courage to talk about what's most important. So yeah, so I am just waiting for Kritika to join the live. I have just sent her a request. I'll just wait for her to join the live. 1 second, I'll just see. So until she joins, we can let me yeah. Until then, you guys can tell me about how you guys are keeping yourself occupied at home during the quarantine. Let's see. I think she has just sent me a request. Wait, I'll just Kritika to be in this live. Let's see. Hi Kritika.
Hi. Can you hear me, see me? Is everything okay?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, your Wi-Fi is doing fine.
No, it's not actually. I tried coming on live on my iPad and it didn't work. But now I'm connected to the phone. I have a backup device for connection. Let's see. I hope this works. So.
Yeah. So tell me,
How are you
Kritika,
doing?
how I'm doing good, surviving, I think. Uh, so tell me, how are you coping, with self-isolation, and how you driving away or lockdown blues?
I'm at my parents' place. Me and my brother came back to our hometown not just before, a few days before the lockdown was announced. So I'm glad that, we did. Our mom literally forced us to come back home, and we thank her every day. So it's easy for us, and definitely very fortunate to be around family at this time and be back home. I've been away from home for a lot of years, so it's probably the longest that I've been at home with my parents after I moved out.
Right. So what is the thing that you're missing the most, while during this quarantine time?
I guess all of us are missing the same things. I'm missing like regular everyday things, and especially my friends, because this is the only way we're connecting, and not getting to meet anybody, just being out and about. Though I'm in a village, and life is different here. The luxury of being in a small place like this is that I can go take a walk outside, go into the backyard, go to the terrace. So I do have that, which I mean, I wouldn't have got that in Bombay really, but that's something that I have here. And I know a lot of people don't, and they're missing it, but I'm definitely missing meeting my friends and shooting also.
Right. So, do you are you also, using this time for, self introspection? How do you reflect this time?
Honestly, that's just happening on its own. I think there is no conscious effort to be a certain way or do something, but there's so much going on around us, and it's such a strange time, and literally everybody's going through the same thing. So I'm just taking each day as it comes. There are a few days that go well. There are a few days that one is really down and out, and it's just so yeah, I think I'm coping. I'm still figuring. I don't have the best advice on what to do. I just feel like, as if, I mean, right now, just do what you want to do and don't feel guilty about it. So that's the
Right.
only thing that I'm trying to follow.
Right. So, we have to talk about, how vocal you are about, about what's going on in the country, and not just now, but you've always been somebody who has been very vocal about, social and political issues in the country. So, tell me, where do you get the courage? Because a lot of speaking up also comes with, a lot of sort of, I mean, a lot of actors have said that, that they lost a lot of projects because of speaking up and expressing themselves on social media. So don't you fear that, what if?
No, I don't think I think like that. I don't think that whatever I'm saying, I mean, I don't think I just say what comes to my mind, and I've been on Twitter for a long time, and I was really active at one point when Twitter used to be a fun place, a long time, and then I just I didn't tweet so much, even though I read everything on Twitter, like all my reading and news and reviews and recommendations, everything comes from Twitter. But right now, these are just extraordinary times, and I feel like since I think December. And December last year, yeah, I think it's just been this really strange time, and there's just so much happening, and it affects me personally. So if there's something that I read and it makes sense to me, I share it. I don't know if it's brave, I don't even know how much it helps, but I just hope that it reaches more people, and that's the whole point of social media. So it's just what the least one can do, I feel. If you have a platform, and even if I have 10 people reading or watching me. So
Right.
as far as fear, I don't know. I really don't think like that. I don't think it's going to affect work in that sense, because I'm not targeting anybody, or I'm just saying what I want to say. I am asking questions, which all of us have a right to do. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Right. Of course, of course. And tell me about your transition from from TV to web, and then finally films. Can you tell me a little bit about that? How
I'm
did
still
it happen?
transitioning. Like I'm always transitioning. I don't think I have done it already, but I think I'm very happy that I've got to work on all the mediums. I obviously have worked the most on for television, and which is a completely different ball game than the rest of the mediums. It's really is real hard work, and a lot of my, I mean, I did that for a long time, for years, and then I got to do a film that I'm proud of and I believed in, and that had a female character that had something to do, and with a director like Nitin Kakkar. So I really enjoyed that. Now I'm doing a few things for the web. Finished shooting for one, going to start shooting for something else, which I was just going to do, by the way, before this whole thing. We were supposed to go for an outdoor schedule, and the shoot got postponed because there were cases in Rajasthan. That's why we were supposed to shoot. And then, of course, things just escalated, and now we're in this national lockdown.
Right. Right.
So I'm happy that I've got to work on all mediums. I still want to keep exploring.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Kritika, I was interviewing Radhika Madan the other day. So, in which she told me that how difficult was it for her to break sort of that image of her on that television image of her, because a lot of people saw her on that TV show for almost like over a year or two, sort of I think 2 years. So it was a little difficult for her to break that image when she was entering films. So was that also the case? I mean, was it also did it also happen with you?
It still happens with me all the time. I think it that's why I said I'm still transitioning. A lot of people don't believe that. I mean, they still look at me like that. They have a set image of me, and I really enjoy auditioning. So I try to go for all auditions that I can go for, and I, in fact, I ask people to test me, so that you can. It's a great way to find out if you can do something. It's also a great way to for the other person to see if you're able to pull something off. But yeah, a lot of people have this notion. I come across this prejudice a lot even now. So I understand what she's saying. Radhika, Mrinal, a lot of these people are doing phenomenal work. They've been on television, and I think they transitioned at the right time and did the right kind of films, and they're very good actors, and that's why they're doing so well. But I think everybody at some point has faced this. It is, people still look at TV actors differently, and they are still hesitant about casting them in lead roles in films.
Right. So is it just the audience or the people in power who actually make movies? The perception that you're talking about, is it just the people or also the people who are making films?
I don't think it's the people. I think people are very smart these days. They even reject like big stars if they don't like the content. So I think people really look for good content, and if somebody suits a character, that's all I think they care about mostly. Unless you're of course driving the film and numbers depend on you, that's a completely different story. And there, even big female film actors are sort of like trying to find those kind of films and roles. But a lot of times this happens to, I mean, I meet people, and I've been told that it's because of the television image that they sometimes don't want to take a risk. So I think it is more about the makers and the casting people who are still a bit hesitant.
Right. So, I mean, tell me, how do you go about choosing your projects? Because, you have done a variety of work on television. You've played a doctor, you've played a reporter, all your shows have been very, very different from one another. So tell me about how do you go about it? And one of your fans also, asked me to ask you this question. So hence.
Okay. I'm very choosy. I have always been, actually, right from the beginning. I don't know if it has done me good or not, but I'm very picky about what I want to do. I don't want to repeat myself, especially on TV. It's really tough to find characters that have more than just being a beti or a bahu or an ideal or that kind of, and that gets, and also just selfishly, because it gets boring, it gets monotonous, because TV goes on forever and ever. For years you're playing a character, so you want to be able to do different things. How else are you going to be creatively excited and satisfied, and what do you wake up and go to work for? And similarly, I think when film opportunities also came my way, I was a bit I am still quite choosy about what I want to do. I think I want to do stuff that I like to watch. I definitely want to do female characters that are meaty, that are doing something that affects the story, affects the plot. And of course, one wants to work with great makers, because good directors, good writers, you understand the value of that when you've worked on television for so long. And I've been blessed to have got the chance to work with some good directors on TV also, which is why I could stay away a little bit from that, the stereotype, which still facing, but at least, but not everybody on television is hamming, not everybody is loud, and it's just a generalization that people have. But if you actually go to watch, I know the content is not like films, which is why one wants to do films and other things. But now I'm getting that chance to do on web, which I'm excited about. That's a very exciting medium for me, because I also enjoy watching the longer format as an audience. Like I find myself binge watching binging on series more than films these days. I think it's, even for an actor, it's just more exciting, because when you have 8-9 episodes, your character is way more fleshed out and you have a lot to do. So that's happening with web, and I'm glad to be in that space.
Right. So what is that one thing that you would want to change about Indian television, right now? What is that one thing?
I used to have things. I mean, I used to have an opinion on this, but actually, it's kind of evolving. I think that there's nothing that needs to be changed within television, really, because there is an audience for it. Clearly, they like watching this, so you give them what they want. I hope we could get a bit more risky, but what's happening of late is that all the so-called edgy kind of stuff is going to web, and TV is still being safe. I do hope that we could do stuff more like, you know, the kind of shows that used to be on TV when I was a child. That was the golden period of television, and it still has. If you see the reach of the medium, it's insane. Like right now, how many people are watching Ramayan, you know, or everything that's coming on TV. And where I am in a small place like this, people are not watching Netflix; they're still watching TV. So I feel like if there was a little bit of more information, entertainment, and variety on television, it would be great. But clearly, whatever's happening on TV has, so it's not a one-way street. I used to, you know, when I was working on television, I used to be like that. I used to be like, why aren't we making this, and why aren't we doing what the West is doing? But it's not so simple. You have to eventually make what people are going to watch. And people are clearly watching what's coming on TV. They're not rejecting it.
Right, right, absolutely, you're right. So the other day I was thinking about, portrayals of, of doctors and medical personnel in TV and films, in our Hindi films. So what I noticed was that, our Indian television has paid tributes to our doctors in so many shows, including, Kuch To Log Kahenge. So,
Yeah.
not many, not many filmmakers or any directors have, recognized the efforts of, our doctors. I mean, we have so many films in which, we have sort of so much glorification of our police officers and all that. There are no such, major films for our doctors who are also, on the front line today. So, what do you have to say on this? Because you also played a doctor in,
I think that will change, no, in the post-corona world, or once we've dealt with the crisis. I think we'll definitely see more, doctors, nurses, and all these heroes on screen, because we're realizing now that it's not just all this while we've just been like, oh, it's a noble profession, but now we're actually realizing that these are the lifesavers. These are the people who are going to get us through this time. So I am very sure that after this we'll see, but yeah, I would love to see a biopic or something like that. I think a lot of people think that it's boring. In fact, even on TV, when it started off, and then eventually there is a love story, there's always entertainment. You have to make it entertainment. You have to package it like that. It cannot just be because people, I think, we're not ready for it. But now seeing these stories and reading the news, and every day, you have so much gratitude, and I'm in awe of these guys who are working on the front line. So I feel like post Corona, we're definitely going to get more films like this.
Right. Could you, okay, one of your fans asked me to ask you one second. Could you share any anecdote from the reporters? People were asking me that, how was it working with Rajiv in the reporters? And could you if you'd like to share any anecdote from the show.
To think of just one anecdote is really difficult, but we had a lovely time shooting for that show. It wasn't, again, the thing about reporters was it was a limited series. So it went on for like 130 episodes, and that's where it ended. And that is why it was the way it was, because what happens with television is that you're producing and you're writing on a daily basis, and after a while, obviously, it's just not possible for you to maintain what you started with. You have to go into different tracks, and sometimes it goes really off track. We all know that. But with reporters, it didn't happen like that. It was a fun crew. I think everybody on that show was just having fun. And it's the only show I've done with Rajiv, and he's one of my favorite co-actors. Everybody asks me this question in all the lives. So I can't think of any one anecdote, but Rajiv used to feed us. He lives very close to Film City. Can I say this? But yeah, I'm not telling you where exactly. But he used to get lunch from home, and he used to feed us a lot of times, all of us. So that was a lot of fun. And Rajiv is a fit, healthy eating, exercising kind of a person. So very motivating also. If
Right.
I could show him the yoga that I'm doing these days, he'd be proud.
So, tell me, how do you look back at your journey? How do you reflect your journey, and how do you think has your career? Do you think your career has shaped up the way you always wanted it to? And yeah,
I didn't really have a plan. I, in fact, didn't even know I would start acting. So I didn't really come in with a plan, and I didn't know where it was going. I didn't even know the difference between TV, film, or any. I didn't know acting. I didn't know anything. I chanced upon it. I lucked out. I'm fortunate to be able to do something that I love for a living. I mean, get. So that's just. I have no regrets. Like I said, I didn't have any plans. I still don't have any plans, and nothing really goes by the. I mean, as per the plans. So it's just I don't have any long-term plans. I just want to see what happens. And luckily, work got me more work, and I still hope that it will be my work that will sort of get me the kind of things that I want to do.
right.
There's a long way to go.
Yeah. Kalyani is asking, who is your favorite Bollywood actress and whom you look up to?
Oh God, a lot of people. A lot of people. I have who do I name? I think everybody's on awe of Alia Bhatt and the stuff that she's doing right now. So I think all the characters and the way she works, I'm a huge fan. I think she's just brilliant. It's a joy watching her on screen. I love, my all-time favorite is Tabu. I think I'm a huge Tabu fan. Like if there is,
I think everyone
if there's
loves
somebody
Tabu.
whose filmography is like, yeah, I think her filmography is just brilliant. Like the kind of roles that she's done at the time when, and considering the time and what kind of cinema was being made when she was doing those roles, is just hugely inspiring. So I'm a big, big Tabu fan.
Right. So, your favorite character, Ananya, Nidhi, Arohi, or Chandrakanta?
It's very tough. This cannot happen. This is not a question for me. It's for the audience. They should decide how they like me the most. But I can't choose one. It's always like when you're working on something, at that time you're invested in that character, and that character is the closest to you. But of course, when you move on, it's always the one that you're currently working on. It's actually never, you are the most attached to the one that you're working on.
And I think Nidhi is my personal favorite.
Yeah.
You know that. Yeah. She was so, So, I mean, can you share some memory from Kuch To Log Kahenge? What was it like?
Kuch To Log Kahenge is a remake of a Pakistani play called Dhoop Kinare, okay? And I remember when I went for the first narration, I had no idea about this show. I came out and I told my mom and I told my parents, and they knew about the show and they knew the craze of the show. And then I watched that. And it's a beautiful, beautiful show. And that's how we started. And Kamlesh Pandey, who's the writer, got in touch with the writer in Pakistan. And we did like a whole, when we did like a screening and we had a conversation with them, the people who made it in Pakistan, and then us. And it was a beautiful process of kind of this exchange of, and they were also, because it was an official remake, so they'd given rights and they had given suggestions and everything. And Rajan Shahi, the producer, was kind enough to have all of us there. And that's how we viewed the first few episodes. I think that was really special because usually you don't get to prep or you don't get this pre-production kind of time on TV. But with that show, we did. And my director, Mandhar Devastadi, who's done a lot of work in Marathi cinema also. Again, that's what I'm saying. I was lucky to have got to work with directors like him, who understood the nuances, who understood these little moments, things that were not really highlighted on TV. There was not a lot of times. It wasn't broad strokes. It was a lot of times the episodes were just about moments, I think, which is what made that show what it is and which is why people could connect. And I still, when I go out, people remember that show and it's very heartening. In fact, a lot of men watch that show, which is also very surprising to me because the general notion is that men don't watch TV serials.
Yeah, true. That's true. What was the best feedback that you got for Kuch To Log Kahenge, if you remember?
I think I've said this before. I think a lot of people actually, not a lot of people, but this happens. I'm sure this happens with other people also. What TV does is it makes your character, it brings you to people's living room. So people start really connecting with you and relating with you, and like, you know, they start believing that you're a part of their lives, which is very sweet, which you don't realize when you're working, because you don't know that it's reaching that audience and how it's affecting them. But I remember getting a call from somebody in Goa whose father was admitted and was not well. And she said that, can you please speak to my father, because he's not having dinner, but if you tell him, if Dr. Nidhi tells him to eat, he will definitely eat. And it really, really moved me. And I was, you know, sort of taken aback. And I spoke to him, and he actually spoke to me like I was his daughter, and like I was actually a doctor, and he knew me. And I could convince him to eat. So that's what I'm saying. The power of TV is just, it's amazing. So if we told more stories that could reach this audience and sort of, you know, give a message, it would be great.
Right. Antara is saying you are still a doctor for me.
Okay. No, I'm not, guys. And at this time, let's not do this. I mean, yeah, right
So
now we
I
have
just
amazing
one
real life
last
doctors doing.
question. Kalyani is asking, share Metro experience.
We shot for Metro at a stretch for like 40 days in Ahmedabad. I really like that city, actually. I think because I got attached to it, and because of this nostalgia, and we were shooting in the old part of Ahmedabad, which is not where cars don't go in, and you have to, you know, get off and then take a rickshaw or walk to the location. And it was a great experience. I'm a big fan of Nitin Kakkar. I love Filmistan. That's what I had seen before I met him for Mitro, and and I was very excited to work with him. And then I read the story, and it was very sweet, and it was a, you know, a girl meet boy story, but so different and heartwarming, and I mean, so simple and yet so different. And I wanted to do something like that. I really connected with the character Avni. I think she's a strong-headed girl, ambitious girl, who she's not a damsel in distress. She's not waiting to be rescued. It was just, it's not often that you come across these characters, and I definitely had not come across a character like that to play in a film. So that was really cool. And working on Mitro was it was a breeze. It was just like just living as that character for those many days and coming back, and we had a film. So yeah.
Wow. Great. Thank you so much, Shrutika. It was lovely
Thank
speaking
you,
to you.
Shishti.
And, yeah,
Same here.
all the for all your projects,
you.
all your future projects. Yeah. Thank you.
And you take care, and I hope everybody here takes care and stays safe and stays in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.